Hey, what's up, and welcome to my corner of the internet. So before we get started, please like, comment, and subscribe. You know, help me keep the lights on. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. So I am 3 seasons into an anime that is now starting to explore topics that I find incredibly interesting, and that's what I love about anime that get a chance to mature. They are given a chance to give me something different in each season, and obviously the anime that I'm talking about is Golden Kamuy.
いつも町まで魚を売りに来るアイヌのおじいさんがいてね。犬ぞりの後ろに初めて見る女の子が乗ってたのよ。この子か。ちょっと違う。
So yeah, we're back again with another Golden Kamuy video. First and foremost, I'm going to put a lot of the information that you probably already know if you've been watching these videos. I would like to say that the 3rd season is probably so far my favorite season. What's different about this season of Golden Kamuy is the group is separated. We are dealing with different pieces and different points of perspective in our 12 episodes of this anime. And this anime is a little bit slower this time around as we're getting more depth of our characters. We're getting a bit more backstory. And the best thing about the depth that we're getting is we don't even necessarily know whose backstory we are getting. And it seems as though in the 3rd season of Golden Kamuy, we're getting to a question or getting into a piece that I really enjoy when we decide to talk about war. And that is... how war creates monsters. Within this entire season, we see different characters' motivations be deepened. We see a lot more backstory be given to characters, and we are introduced to, I think, 2 to 3 new criminals. I could be off. I just watched it, but you know, it all kind of melts together because I had so much of a great time watching this. And we see a bit more of the introduction of what the Russian-Japanese war really did for the Ainu people, and we get more of a breaking that we still are introduced to the culture the same way, and lovingly, I might add, where we're introduced to a colder side of Hokkaido and much higher and much closer to Russia, and we see how we get the pieces of Wilk, who had been just killed in season 2, and we learn about his piece of the story, and we see how we learn about Hiro Rankin, and so many different characters are given their time to, I guess, be fleshed out as fully formed characters for us. When I tell you this season really fishes out characters' backstories, is we're given the subtle changes of what war brings to these men and the choices that they made and the losses that came and gave us who the characters that we have in our current day. I'm not going to spoil it, but we find out a certain character's backstory, and you see how he became this charismatic leader who is hell-bent on continuing war, and it kind of makes sense. And I think to some part you see how this man has gone pretty much insane, and you see how he is a leader who taps into people's emotions and their desires and is no stranger to humor, and also his ability to give his men what they want emotionally and play a part that like really shifts men. This anime gets to the part where we talk about the changing of the shogunate and how that put men in different places, the ideas of revolutionaries and the men that follow these things, and sometimes they're right and sometimes they're wrong. These are men that made choices and ended up imprisoned for it. These are also men that believed in something and died for something and ended up maybe finding out it was the right thing or learning that they believed in the wrong thing, and it sets them off. There's a lot of backstories that we get a piece of within this story that really make you think about the choices that we make in life. And also it hones in on the hope of the Ainu people being free from just being governed by some grand nation that's bigger than them. And this is pushed so heavily into this anime that it means something. Golden Kamuy is definitely an anime that has just been ramshacked into my top 10 list because the themes, the men, the Japanese style Western, the way it's able to add different plot lines and storylines, different motivations, the action is there, the characters are there, shit is cool, things are happening, everything has something, and there's emotional weight to our characters, the insanity, the jokes, everything within this anime benefits its way of telling a story. And I'm having such a great time watching it that I couldn't believe that like this isn't bigger. I'm about to shout Golden Kamuy to the highest corners because you don't get stories like this. And I feel like the Western genre is able to build stories like this because it gives us characters and a race for something that I guess technically we all want. But then when you get into the depth, when you get in the meat and potatoes of each of our characters, when you start to sympathize with our own villains, that's when you know you got something here. And Golden Kamuy does it with this third season that's a little bit slower. We take a little bit of our time. We're given backstory that really matters. And there's some surprises that come along with it. I'm not going to spoil the full thing, but this is a great season. And it is a little bit of a change of the rushing around that we got within the second and first season, but in the third season we take our time. Each episode is carefully plotted and we're given reveals, we're given moments that matter, and we get the greatest reveal of all, and it's emotional, it's filled with something that matters, and I'm excited for the last season that it has. I'm gonna probably give that some time before I get back to it because I've definitely been Golden Kamuy'd out, and I'm gonna watch some other things and then definitely jam myself into that. Like, I'm so super excited. So thank you for listening to me rant about how the third season of Golden Kamuy is wonderful storytelling and a great time for people that enjoy learning about characters and a story that's strung about it and has so much more layers to it that gives history some of the greatest pieces of it, because like, sorry, that made no sense. History can be way more interesting than any imagination could ever give you. So with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you for making it to the end of the video. How do you feel about the third season of Golden Kamuy? I rate it as a 5 out of 5. It does everything, and it's such a great change of pace that I did not mind it. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.